Here are today's top news happenings and why they matter. Gabon's presidential election campaigns entered the final stretch ahead of the post-coup election set for this Saturday. The election is viewed as a transition from military leadership after a coup last year ousted the Bongo dynasty, which ruled Gabon for 56 years. General Brice Oligui Nguema, who led the coup and served as the transitional leader, has been touted as a front-runner in the presidential elections. General Nguema will face his top challenger, Alain Claude Billy Bainze, a former prime minister under Ali Bongo. The top opposition candidate has challenged Nguema's eligibility, saying the putschist turned frontrunner poses a threat to democracy. So why does this election matter? It is a key test for Gabon's promised return to civilian rule and a signal for other African nations dealing with post-coup transitions. A controversial new electoral code has allowed military officers like Nguema to run despite his earlier promise to hand over power. Observers worry this could normalize military takeovers if soldiers can simply swap uniforms for ballots. Meanwhile, discontent runs deep. Despite its oil wealth, Gabon has some of the highest youth unemployment in the region. And here is the bigger picture. If Nguema wins as expected, many will ask, is Gabon really transitioning or just reshuffling power? But analysts say this moment could still open doors for meaningful reform if the government follows through on its promises of transparency, accountability, and inclusion. International observers from the African Union and European Union will monitor Saturday's vote. And while both leading candidates have different visions for Gabon's future, they have placed youth, the economy, and the national sovereignty at the center of their campaign. And now, Tanzania opposition supporters have begun gathering outside a central police station in southern parts of the country where their leader Tundu Lissu is being held. Lissu was arrested last evening in what his party Chadema officials are calling a direct assault on democracy ahead of elections later this year. The arrest happened shortly after he addressed a public rally under Chadema's No Reforms, No Election campaign. Why does this matter? Tundu Lissu is not just any opposition figure. He is a former presidential candidate, a survivor of an assassination attempt, and one of the most outspoken critics of President Samia Suluhu Hassan's administration. His arrest sparked deep concerns about political backsliding in Tanzania, a country that only recently showed signs of democratic opening. And now, Chinese companies selling on Amazon are warning of steep price hikes or a full exit from the U.S. market after President Donald Trump announced he would raise tariffs on Chinese goods to a staggering 125%. China is home to around half of Amazon sellers, with over 100,000 Amazon businesses registered in the southern city of Shenzhen alone. The tariff spikes is rattling a massive slice of the global e-commerce. Some sellers are already raising prices by up to 30%, while others are pulling out of the US entirely. Here is why this development is significant. Amazon shoppers in the US could soon see big price jumps, especially on electronics, toys, and home goods. China accounts for nearly half of Amazon sellers, and if they exit or downsize, it could disrupt supply chains and reshape the global e-commerce map. And finally, in some sports, Borussia Dortmund coach Niko Kovac is a disappointed man. Kovac says his team deserved to lose to Barcelona in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-finals clash last night. Dortmund will have a mountain to climb in next week's second leg after they were thrashed 4-0 by Spanish side. Meanwhile, English side Aston Villa also suffered a 3-1 defeat against PSG. The second leg of the Champions League quarterfinals is set for next week. And that's all we had time for today. Are you interested in constructive analysis of news happenings? Just hit the subscribe button, like and comment on the stories we are highlighting. DW Africa is our channel's name, and my name is George Okachi.